Hello, and thank you for joining us. To everyone in the audience, to all the other participants here, Tyro, that was really cool. In fact, I want to talk to you guys afterwards. I think we can help you with something here. Now, for the rest of you, Layer is a San Francisco-based company that has had deep roots in communication. And from that vantage point, we have seen a dramatic shift in the way people, consumers and businesses alike, want to do business. Specifically, they no longer want to use email. The average response time on email, even if they want to respond to you, is 7 hours. And this is largely due to spam and the movement over to messaging. In addition, people don't want to use the phone to talk unless it's on their terms. It's highly intrusive, and people would much rather be doing messaging and texting to get their business done. In addition, we found that two major markets that we're going after, right? Let's call them boomers and millennials, or as I like to say, millennials or anyone under 40, want to be able to communicate with messaging to get a personalized, immediate, mobile, and highly interactive experience when they're doing business. Layer can help with that. In fact, what we do is we provide a unified communication platform that allows people to build very differentiated experiences across web, mobile web, and native apps. So they can reach their customers as those customers want to be reached, when they want to be reached, and in a way that is comfortable for them. Meanwhile, this is really good for business because we can actually accelerate the time it takes to do a sales cycle. We can actually help you be more scalable in your delivery of your services and ultimately lead to greater lifetime value. So let me show you how this works. What I have here on the left is my dashboard. And on the dashboard, I have a number of conversations with my various clients that I might be working with. Now, we're currently talking to companies and working with companies from investment bankers to consumer banking to mortgages. We even have some credit card, people selling credit cards, essentially, all working through our system. In this scenario, it's just a demo of what's possible. So here are different people I'm talking to. I got John here I haven't responded to, but I also have Bill. Now, in here, I understand Bill's profile, what he's doing business with me. I get more information about Bill here, and this is essentially a CRM system that we can plug into. On the left side of all the conversations, I'm talking to Bill. I want to say, hi, Bill. I'm going to use a pre-scripted welcome. Actually, I want to say, hi, Bill, can we talk? Now, I don't know what Bill's doing right now, so I want to get his attention. So I'm going to bring him into the experience. Now, I could do this through a push notification through a mobile app, or I could send it via email. I'm going to go ahead and send it to him via SMS. Now, this could have been time-based. It could have been bot-created. It doesn't have to be a human that actually sends that message. But I sent it to Bill, and on his side, he received a notification from SMS saying, come into the experience. Now, Bill's going to tell me that he's at the middle of an awesome session and he can't really talk to me. But in a second, he will. But once he sends that note to me, then I'm going to be able to receive it, and it shows up as a record in my conversation list here. So you can start thinking of this conversation as an event feed of sorts. Now, I get a push notification, if you saw it up on the top right, that Bill's communicated with me. So if I'm off talking to one of my other clients, I can certainly come back to Bill, and I can be immediate in my response. Now, Bill's going to leave there, and he's going to come in, and he came into the actual messaging experience. And this is mobile web. This is being done with basically a website running on a phone, having the exact same experience as you might have in a native mobile device. So Bill's here, and I want to share some information with Bill. So these could all be pre-screened or pre-canned, but actually what I want to give is a file to him to take a look at his financial report. So Bill receives that. I got his push notification, but he receives the PDF through what we call a rich card. Now, rich card experience in this scenario is taking him off, opening the PDF on his phone. He can interact with it, make decisions based on it. He's pretty stoked at what he sees. All right. The next thing he does is he's going to say, what are we going to do with all that money, right? And he's really happy about it. And I want to give him some various suggestions. Now, this doesn't have to be related to wealth management, but in this case it is. I want to say, hey, here's some commodities, some stocks, ultimately some things he might want to do with it. He gets that message in some period of time. It should be fairly soon. And when he does, he'll be able to interact with it. Or not. Almost out there. Okay, and while he's doing that, I'm going to be predicting that he's going to want to do some additional things. Go ahead and refresh. he's going to want to, for example, schedule a meeting with me to talk to a tax accountant. So, meeting with tax guru. I'm going to schedule it for a 90-minute meeting. It looks at my calendar and decides what appropriate times might be to meet. I'm going to send him a couple of options. He gets that message on his side. Now, this is based on the idea of a stateless card, or stateful card. So a message doesn't have to be text or static information. A message can actually be in that bubble, can be an application running. We can store 2 GB worth of data in each message and serve it with 64 message parts. And all that means to us is that we can do a lot of stuff. And one of the things we can do is actually do things like calendars and polls and others that allow you to move all the transactions you otherwise would be doing through a mobile application, going from different screens or from a website going different places, and keep it all inside a messaging funnel while you're being personal and interactive and immediate. To keep them from leaving this decision funnel and maybe leaking out the side, instead they're staying connected with you and getting the work done that you need them to get done, and most importantly, they do as well. Now, what we want to do is figure out what Bill wants to do with that money. Maybe he wants to do put $1 million, say, into the kids that don't read so good fund. So we're going to say, I'm going to send him a card saying 1 million in kids that don't read good. Now I'm going to add this and say yes, no. Now by sending this poll to him, what I'm actually doing is inviting him to record what he actually wants to do. Now that could have been pre-canned, of course. Any of these things can be. So he says, yes, he wants to choose that. It shows up as a record on my side. It's also time-based. Now once you've considered doing all these things, I can also start phone calls. I can have a direct messaging to him, if we need to escalate, or not. I can tie in machine learning. I can tie in bots. Make this all much better experience. Thank you very much. Meet us at the Layer booth. We can show you a very fintech demo.